and welcome to this news edition, ladies and gentlemen. It's the motionless on the uncertainty, the lower house on the continuation of the session around the impeachment of the President of the Republic. Very late Monday afternoon, a few rare parliamentarians were noticed in the semicircle while the meeting was set at 11 o'clock in the morning. During the preparation of this edition, there was no reason to expect the resumption of this meeting. A handful of political activists met in front of the Parliament building to lend their support to accusing MEPs. At first, they were forced by agents of the Departmental Unit of Maintenance of Order, UDMO, to take refuge in the Place d'Italie. Burning tires were stored on the roadway. The Parliament building were hit by stone and bottle thrown by protesters. The agent of the law and order dispersed them with tear gas. The protesters spat out their anger because of the head of state's inability to curb the country's acute economic crisis. According to them, Jovenel Moïse deserves to be indicted. Heavily armed individuals held a panicky situation at midday on the Bicentennial at the southern entrance to the capital. Heavy fire has been heard in several places occupied by these thugs. We learned many people are wounded. Meanwhile, in Wanamit, in the Department of Northeast, a motorcycle taxi driver was murdered on Monday with a bullet to the neck by individuals posing as passengers. Antonio Cherami, one of the members of the group of 4 senators of the opposition, supports the minority deputies who are considering the possibility of indicting the President of the Republic. He continues to blame the head of state for not having been able to respond to the precondition of the underprivileged population. The insecurity and high cost of living are particularly highlighted by the elected West Department to claim by the head of state. The commission responsible for analyzing the file of the appointed prime minister will submit this week his report to the Assembly, said Jean-Wilson Hippolyte, a member of the structure. The MP indicated that he did not notice any irregularities in the document submitted by Fritz William Michel. This August 12th brings back the International Youth Day. Several young people denounced members of this category who engaged in indecent and deadly activities, including banditry, prostitution, drug, and alcohol use. These citizens criticized the new practice called car wash, very popular with some of their peers. According to them, the parental irresponsibility, the laxity of the authorities, and the failure of the education system are the main vectors of the degeneration of the custom in this country. In addition, these young people have sharply criticized the leader for not having worked to facilitate their access to the state university. Thousands of them do not know which scent to turn after finishing high school. They lament a situation that encourages young people to migrate abroad in search for a better life. These citizens are in a deprivation state. Likewise, the head of the organization called Circle Gramsci calls the authorities to provide better guidance to youth. Diego Lafortune spoke to the unemployment and the difficulties to access of the universities that these social categories confront. Abroad, Hong Kong airport on Monday made the rare decision to cancel all its flights after thousands of protesters invaded its arrivals hall to protest the police violence committed as part of the unprecedented mobilization that engulfs the former British colony. The closure of the eighth busiest international airport in the world, known for its remarkable efficiency, was announced when the Chinese central government said it saw signs of terrorism in this protest in semi-autonomous region. The decision of the airport authority, in the words of China, occurred 10 minutes apart, are the sign of a new escalation in a political crisis that has lasted since early June and is the worst in Hong Kong since the surrender of the territory to China in 1997. It's been 4 days since the airport, which has welcomed 74 million passengers in 2018, is the scene of a peaceful sit-in of thousands of protesters who seek through this original action to raise awareness of travelers to their cause. Always abroad, the Portuguese army on Monday escorted the first tank truck convoys to refuel hundreds of already dry service stations at the start of an indefinite strike by truck drivers. Police under heavy protection have left a major distribution center in Aveiro, a suburb of Lisbon, without being stopped by a picket line of 30 truckers gathered around the site, said a photographer AFP. The strikers' union, calling for a wage increases, have accused the transport companies of putting pressure on the drivers to convince them to give up the movement and even go beyond the minimum services imposed by the government. The day before, the head of the socialist government had said he will not hesitate to requisition strikers, if the situation required. Thank you for watching Info Pacific. If you would like to rewatch this news edition, you may do so at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and RadioTelePacific.com. And also on channel cable 384 for the Nassau, Bahamas Island. From all of us at Télé Pacific, have a great day.